The journey towards an inclusive green economy is never over. But as the Chinese proverb has it, every great journey begins with one step forward. So join us as we first look back to see how we started this journey together.
The journey of the green economy over the last 6 to 8 years can probably best be described in a number of milestones. The first one was the issue of valuation of ecosystem services. So the TEEB work became a significant stepping stone towards writing a new economic paradigm under which we could deal with both the need for development but also maintaining the productive assets that nature provides us with.
And the G8+5 ministers met in 2007 and asked the question, if economics could make such a strong case for early action against climate change, then why can't we do the same for nature? And that truly is the purpose of TEEB. So the interim report of TEEB, which was published in 2008, presented exactly this point, that the losses and the rate of loss of nature was significant and that it had huge impacts in economic terms.
The second step was, in some ways, an unfortunate but also fortuitous one, which was the financial crisis. We were propelled very quickly with UNEP to put forward a contribution to how these trillions of dollars in the financial stimulus packages of 2008 could also be invested in the economy of the future, not just in stabilizing yesterday's economies, industrial sectors, and financial systems. We began to articulate the Global Green New Deal, the notion that we could not only invest the billions and trillions of dollars in stabilizing the economy of yesterday, but if we were to have this fiscal stimulus and financial stimulus, then at least a part of it should go in terms of investing in the economy of tomorrow. And that became the foundation for the Global Green New Deal that UNEP then introduced into the global debate, and that found enormous resonance. From Europe to China to the US to Latin America to Africa, we saw governments suddenly investing in renewable energy technologies and infrastructure, in public railway and public transport systems, in cleaner energy, in more efficient buildings. And that was probably the single largest economic or financial stimulus that the transition towards a greener infrastructure, a greener economy had ever received. The report that UNEP then issued in terms of a transition towards a green economy became a global policy conversation, which the analysis on the green economy made it directly into the agenda of the actual Rio+20 summit.
My message to world leaders is clear. Sustainable development is an idea whose time has come.
Out of Rio, we immediately saw many countries turning towards the green economy concept. The Partnership for Action on the Green Economy was born, which brought multiple UN agencies together, making a collective offering to countries to assist them to move forward.
Other programs and partnerships on green economy and green growth are already underway, and more are in the works. These initiatives are supporting a green economy transition in over 160 countries worldwide through a variety of support services, from information exchange to capacity building to finance and technology assistance.
It became clear to us that we needed a second report that would look at how do financial and capital markets, how does the regulatory environment through central banks and financial regulatory authorities become part of an effort to incentivize a scale of investments that was unprecedented.
We were able to launch a report that was backed by 70 working papers from many different spheres. It was the first time in the history of the IMF World Bank annual meetings that you had an environmental organization convening a set of central bankers for international cooperation and is now embedded in the G20 process directly as a result.
The transition towards an inclusive green economy very explicitly makes the statement that this is not only about ecology, it's not only about economics, or it's not only about people, it's about the interface and how they managed in a coherent policy framework can enable a different kind of economy to emerge.
This insight, the inclusive green economy, simple yet profound, sparked a new wave of the journey. Showcased in UNEP's Uncovering Pathways to an Inclusive Green Economy, the links between social well-being, prosperity, sustainable consumption and production, and ecological and personal integrity were made.
17 Sustainable Development Goals are our guide. They are a to-do list for people and planet and the blueprint for success.
L'accord de Paris pour le climat est accepté.
If you take these two decisions from 2015 and look forward into the future, then what is quite clear is that the transition towards an inclusive green economy becomes an essential part of making a world with 10 billion people, one in which we can actually succeed collectively and together. It's part of the Sustainable Development Agenda, it's part of the climate change response, it's also part of making a world in which we can live together, one that we can look forward to rather than look at it with dread, with panic and with risks becoming ever more prominent.
While the journey is far from over, the insights we have gathered throughout the last 8 years in developing the green economy provide a truly solid platform and vision for the planet.
And I invite you on this journey into a green economy as not something that is trying to impose on you either an ideology or suggest to you that there is a nirvana just across the next mountain. No, it is actually a way of liberating our thinking and certainly challenging those who are saying that the way we are managing the world right now is the only way to do it. It is not. And each one of us, every day, across the world, can actually change this. I hope that is part of a journey, both intensely personal, but also planetary, that for many of you is one that you share and that you will continue to be part of.